Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of TTG For Real Film Room. Today's featured athlete is defensive end / linebacker Von Miller. Miller had 13.5 sacks. He improved his sack total from last year's 11. And he's setting high expectations for this upcoming season with a goal to reach 30 sacks. Von does a lot of good things other than rush the passer. As you guys will see in the film that I'm about to break down, he is a run stuffer and he is underrated when it comes to getting to the football. Miller is in a wide 9 technique. He's matched up against Mike Remmers. He does nothing fancy. He just does a good job of rip hip and tipping his shoulders to get underneath them. Miller is in a 9 technique again. He's going to get chip blocked by the tight end. He does a good job of getting Joe Ritz off his initial point and pushing him back to the quarterback to get his hands on the football. Miller is in a super wide 9 technique just because of the splits of the tight end. And he does a good job of attacking Ritz inside chest and being aware that Andrew Luck stepped up inside the pocket. Miller just bullies him at this point. He bull rushes Ritz into the back of Andrew Luck and he gets the combination sack with DeMarcus Ware. Miller is in a super wide 9 technique because of the tight end. Miller does the okie doke, the inside outside stutter step to get the strip and the sack on Andrew Luck, which leads to Shane Ray running it in for a Broncos touchdown. At this point, the coach had to get Ritz some help, so they always had a tight end on his side as well to help Ritz. Ritz necessarily didn't do anything wrong. This is just an effort sack by Von just because of the quarterback stepped up in the pocket. Von is in a 9 technique. Cedric Iwobi, he's being reactive instead of proactive, so Von shoots the hand, bends the corner for the sack on Andy Dalton. Von is in a 9 technique. He demands a double team. Rodgers attempts to block Von. He starts on the upfield shoulder, then dips on the inside shoulder of Dotson, goes back on the outside to get the quarterback hurry. Von is in a 9 technique. Cross tries to outblock. Only thing is, Cross, he reached, so Von had to teach, and Von made the assist on the tackle. This is called a delayed stunt. He takes 1-2 steps upfield, and then he immediately shoots to the C gap to create the loop for Derek Wolfe, and they combined on the half sack. Unbalanced formation. Von is in a 9 technique. Talola tries to outblock him, but he reached, so Von had to teach, and he just smacked Freeman in the backfield. Von is in a 9 technique against the All-Pro. He does the 1-2-3 upfield spin move. Man, that shit looks sexy. He had him on skates. Oh my god. 9 technique versus Burksdale. Von does get a jump but no flag. Does a good job of the right left under ripping, running the tunnel, and stripping the upfield shoulder of the quarterback. The tight end takes an inside release, which alters Von Miller's rush responsibility. Burksdale lunges, man. Von just made him look like a fool on that to get the tackle for loss. Every offensive lineman crash block to the left or down block to the left. He had to do his run responsibility, which is step replace, step replace. He got off the block and made a play on Gordon. Gates gave Von a free release. Von is on the outside shoulder 9 technique. He just takes his left hand and drive it into the inside chest of Dunlap. This is an effort sack, nothing more, nothing less. At some point, you knew the Chargers were going to bring in another offensive lineman. Von is in the 9 technique. He takes 3 upfield steps and whoop, busts a spin move out on Hairston for the quarterback hurry. I know you guys are getting tired of me saying this, but against Von Miller, if you reach, he will teach. That's what Henry just did, and he's going to whiff every time to get that tackle for loss. 9 technique against Austin Howard. I call this the pat, where you just playing patty cake, but he does it with one hand, and he bends the corner for the sack against Carr. The tackle down block. Von is unblocked on purpose. It's 1-on-1 against the running back. He makes the shoestring tackle against Ingram. Von is the nickel against Demetrius Harris. Harris tries to outblock him. Von, he shoots the hand and just swims underneath for the tackle for loss. Von is in a nickel against the trips. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Here he's playing a zone coverage. He gets the China call to pass the number 2 receiver off to get his eyes on 1 to come up to make the tackle for loss. 9 technique against Schwartz. Von, he's going to do a good job of shooting the left one, extending the right one, and dipping underneath and running the alley to bend to get the sack against Alex Smith. 9 technique against Schwartz. Von is going to give him let's see what he give him. An in-out-in spin to get the tackle against Sharkandrick West. Von is in a super wide 9 technique just because of the splits of Harris. You don't want to give him nothing easy to block. He does a delayed gap stunt twist to the A gap for the sack against Alex Smith. Coaches don't teach this. Von, he gets away with it just because of his athleticism. That's an unbalanced formation. That's not a tight end. That's a tackle. The tackle down blocks Von. He step replace. Look for anything coming his way, which in this case is the fullback. Instead of taking on the fullback on his outside shoulder, he swims over him and makes the tackle in the backfield. Unbalanced formation the opposite way of Von, so you know it must be a screen or something quick. Von Miller does a good job of getting off the block. Well, he was unblocked. He was just at the right place at the right time. That was a cover sack. Non-technique against Kelsey. Kelsey is going to down block, so Von has to step replace, look for something coming his way. In this case, the guard Fulton pulls. He reaches, so Von teaches. Man, I keep telling you that. You reach, he teach. Non-technique against the tackle Beecham. It's a zone left. Von is supposed to keep D-gap contained, which is the outside responsibility, but he peeks inside and out for the tackle. Any other defensive end would have got chewed out by their coach. It was supposed to be a combo block, but Von shoots the C-gap immediately and makes the shoestring tackle against him. It's a quads formation against Von Miller. It's a split zone quarterback lead. Combination block against Von. Von does a good job of keeping his outside hand free to make the tackle on Mariota. Trey tight bunch with 3 tight ends against Von. Von is going to stunt to the D gap, defeats the block, gets his hands free, and makes the tackle against Murray. Von is a peeker, so he almost gets in trouble here by peeking inside the C gap. He's supposed to have D gap responsibility. He does a good job of just making the tackle at the last second. Heavy weak eye formation. Von Miller's going to crash the C gap. He beats Anthony Fasano to the point of attack, and he makes the tackle for loss against Henry. Non-technique against Cannon. Cannon is going to try to outblock Von. Von push-pull rips, gets off the block, and makes the tackle against Dion Lewis. Von is in a non-technique. He must have watched film this week because the Patriots love to do the split zone with the H-back, so he cheats it. He's Ken 46. He loops around and makes the tackle against Dion Lewis. Normal weak eye formation. Von is in a non-technique against Kelsey. Okay, now it's not normal. It's a tight. So Von, he cheats. He's crashing in a B gap now to make the tackle for loss against Sharkendrick West. Non-technique against Kelsey. No specific rush. He's the quarterback spy. He creates separation, gets off the block, push-pull rips, and makes the tackle. One-on-one versus Penn. Von takes a hesitation step and then bull rushes to the inside hip of Penn, gets off the block, makes the tackle against Richards. Penn down blocks. Von is initially supposed to step replace to see if anything else is coming, which in this case, the puller is Rivera. He's supposed to attack his inside shoulder, but Von must have watched film and he knew this reversal was coming, so he attacks upfield. He strips the ball, and the Broncos recover for a huge swing of momentum. Von Miller is extremely talented when it comes to his run-stopping abilities. It just so happens that he is probably the best pass rusher in the NFL as well, which sometimes lead people to overlook the little things. Hopefully this video enlightens you to his full package. Follow me on all of my social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and SoundCloud at TTG for real. Make sure you hit the little red button at the bottom and hit the thumbs up as well.